LEGO Fortnite's new game mode might be hinting at new features added in the future. Now, if you guys didn't know, you can actually search into the hotbar on the Fortnite main page and look up the name LEGO. And once you do this, select the option that says more from this creator, and it'll show you every single official game mode that comes from the LEGO group. So you could not only see every game mode, but also when they update things. So Wing Walkers came out earlier this week. LEGO Obby Run has given that space theme. LEGO Prop Hunt was given a space theme. And now you have LEGO Smoothie Odyssey, which also is a space theme. Now, all of these switching to space theme may not mean anything, but maybe it means everything. Now, the main game mode that I'm talking about is going to be the Smoothie Odyssey, as it is a brand new game mode added into the game yesterday, which is all about holding on to your blender, preparing to explore new zones, and discovering secret areas. The goal of this is to collect berries and then show off your smoothie skills. So nothing too crazy, but I want to deep dive the actual game mode so you guys could see new things added. Now, one thing that I noticed inside of this was when you walked up and you jumped towards something, you actually have a new option called Mantling. Now, this is something that exists inside of Battle Royale, but does not exist inside of the area for LEGO Fortnite. So this is a brand new mechanic that it seems like we are getting into the game. If it's inside of this mini game, that means that it is likely that we get it inside of the survival game mode as well. I'm sure that they do use the mini games as a testing area before they go into the actual online game, as very little people play these official game modes. However, it is a really solid area for them to test things. So inside of this map, you can actually walk up to different objects like these poles inside of this home base, press your jump button, and you will see that another button comes up to press your spacebar or your jump key, and it'll say press to mantle. So there's a brand new feature that may be getting added into the game. Now, a few months ago, we got a leak about potential geysers getting added into the grasslands biome, and then recently with the Star Wars update, we got geysers added into the Frostlands caves inside of the Star Wars area. Now, inside of this brand new game mode, there is a new type of geyser which more so looks man-made and not as much of a geyser, just an open hole that pushes you into different directions based on where you jump at it. This also looks like it is constructed out of some sort of granite and then maybe some different colored woods and different things like that. But this is definitely something that may have been hinted at earlier on in that update leak that talked about man-made geysers or geysers inside of the grasslands. It would make sense that they give us something like this. Even though we do have jump pads, these things could still bring a lot of fun. Now, we do know about leaks that have to do with zip lines, and it looks like we are getting our first testing of this inside of this game mode as well, with these brand new running or skating platforms on this game. Now, obviously, I failed completely when trying to ride on this the first time, but you can jump onto these objects and you could actually glide across them like you were skating. Now, this is again something that was in Battle Royale previously and may even still be in Battle Royale, but not something that has ever been touched or talked about inside of LEGO. So it is very likely that we do get this brand new mechanic as they're testing it obviously now inside of this mode. You can have a ton of fun of these, whether you guys are widowy hitting the gwitty or pressing your spacebar to go a little bit faster, your sprint button to go a little bit faster. You could use these for very fast movement between different villages if they were to add this into the game for all of us. And one of the biggest things that have been asked out of Epic is, you guys can see this is the home base that I'm looking at. And inside of this top area, you could see it says to head to base camp or warp to base camp. This is actually a little teleportation device that people have been asking for inside of the survival mode, where you could actually warp yourself from on top of this mountain to your immediate base camp. I'm not sure if this is something that will get added into survival, as it definitely takes away from a lot of the traveling updates that they've been adding into the game. However, if this is something that you could place between level 10 villages and then use this warp to bounce between different villages, I don't see see that being a big problem in the game. I just wouldn't necessarily like being able to put a beam down inside of a cave and instantly warp back somewhere, as again, it just kind of takes away from the travel and the grind of the game. Now, like I talked about earlier, they did make updates to other game modes that they originally created. One of them is the obby run. Now, something inside of this that we have seen in the past is different Lego sets such as Dreams and Ninjago, and then we got the Ninjago update to happen in the game where they released another mini game specifically for that series. So when it comes to these obby runs and these game modes, they do typically hint towards something. With this space one, I'm not entirely convinced that they're going to release an entire space theme into the game, as that would definitely take up a lot of memory and cause a lot of server issues, and that is definitely something we don't want to see. However, there is another little trick inside of here, which is just going to be the zero gravity. I don't necessarily see them adding this in as a permanent feature, but maybe there's something that you can eat in the game, similar to old Battle Royale stuff, where you can go into a zero gravity mode and start floating around the map. Now, we've also had previous leaks about different type of food items that you could eat and then get yourself like different type of abilities. For example, you could eat an apple and then be able to run faster. You could have a banana and jump higher. You could do a bunch of different things in this game and get these speed boosts. Something that I noticed inside of the hide and seek game mode is when you swing your pickaxe, you get this very quick and subtle little burst of speed added to your player. So I don't know, again, if this is them testing out those previous leaks and seeing how these speed boosts would work, if there was glitches with them or bugs with them. However, it does look like this is added in to the hide and seek game mode. So when you swing your pickaxe, you get a little boost just like they talked about in the leaks. Now, they also made changes to the raft survival game mode that has to do with all the pirates and everything like that. They updated it to make it a little bit easier to navigate, also probably a little bit easier to play as well. And there's even a little mini game that's added inside of the mini game, which then has to do with an octopus coming and slamming down on the rafts. There's a bunch of little things that are added inside of here, as well as different team high scores, player high scores, and overall just a nice little leaderboard for this area. Now, again, I don't know if this has anything to do with future updates, but you would just assume that they're added in by the LEGO group into LEGO Fortnite, that one day we will see them inside of the survival mode. Keep in mind that the roadmap has been fairly accurate up until this point. Matter of fact, it has been nothing but accurate up until this point, and it has shown nothing to do with space for LEGO Fortnite. So it's definitely possible that all of this stuff are just mini games that LEGO is creating and then pushing out to us. However, it does make sense that if they're going to add it into the game on their own and create this stuff, that it is possible to then be added into the survival mode. So again, I'm not 100% sure if this is coming into the game now or even a year from now, but it does show the capabilities of what LEGO has when it comes to this game mode and to these game modes, that we should be pretty excited for the future, knowing that we have a ton of new content and game features that will be coming soon.